Hi there, Karen here, with, of course, my buddy Whiskey Sour. I hope that you guys have been doing really well. Today I wrote a blog called, Are You Able to Get Your Feelings Out? My love for philosophy and my love for writing lyrics had me on a website this morning. And I was probably on the website longer than what it deserved. But you know, my whole attitude in life now is I stay very open and I read lots, and I try not to go in and judge anything too much, but of course I philosophically break things down a lot and just give what I always say to you guys, my big fat opinion on it. So now my disclaimer before anybody gets angry with me or annoyed. I love when people write. I love when people wax philosophical. I love when people send me lyrics. I love when people send me poems. I love all that stuff. I love when people get their feelings out and when they feel free enough to put their feelings down on paper. That's very cool. But my point is, you should be getting your feelings out. Above all else, if something you were feeling or thinking, or even if it's imaginary, it doesn't matter. But if you were able to get it on paper in a really honest way, then I really love it. I don't have to love it just because it's Shakespeare, or I don't have to love it because it's Mark Twain, and I don't love something just because a fifth grader did it. You know, it just has to be honest to me for me to be interested, or for me to have a certain amount of respect for it. And that's not to say that I love all poetry or all songs, because I don't. But I do love it when I feel like whoever was writing was really super honest. Just honest. And like I said, that could be imagination, the honest imagination. But my aggravation with many lyrics and books is that I don't know if the person has actually accomplished what they set out to do. And we all fall short of that as writers because our imagination is so much more vivid than what's on paper. But if what you set out to do is to get something off your chest, to write because you really feel compelled to, then you accomplished that. Now, whatever you ended up writing, you know, that's neither here nor there. But and this isn't me picking on anyone. It's just I'm becoming increasingly more lyrics I read, the more poems that I read, the more emails even that I read from people, I am becoming increasingly concerned that people aren't feeling very good about what they've written. They don't feel like it's good enough to show anyone. They might be kind of sneaking it to me in a corner going, Karen, what do you think? And, you know, that's fine to get an opinion on it from somebody that you maybe respect, or, you know, that you just want to share with a friend or whatever, and that's cool. People send me things they've written all the time, and they ask for critiques. And I'm usually wary of doing it because I'm not sure that people are going to want to hear what I have to say. So this has happened enough to me that I've had enough lyrics, poems, whatever sent to me that I thought it's worth doing a blog on. My response usually isn't about grammatical correction, or even if I'm touched by it. Like it doesn't have to be. When you write something, you don't have to actually touch someone else, you know, because you know what opinions are like. It's like you're going to get all sorts of them, so it doesn't have to actually touch somebody. My general response to anything that has been written down is, did it come from the person? Did it come from an honest place? Of course, there's plagiarism and all those things that happen, but I suspect a lot of people, the motivation, there's something really bizarre going on with the motivation before they even start to write. And most of the songs that have been sent to me look really good on paper. You know, they might rhyme, they might have a really good meter, and quite often I just don't believe it. I don't believe that came from that person. And I don't even mean that they plagiarized it. I think it's more that I feel like their motivation was to write a poem or a song instead of getting their feelings out. Because I can't go very long without quoting something from Will Ferrell, let me include an example from Anchorman, where he asks Brick in his office what he loves. They're talking about what is love, and he asks Brick what he loves. And Brick says, I love carpet. I love desk. And Ron Burgundy says to him, Brick, are you just looking at things in the office and saying you love them? He says, I love lamp. Do you really love lamp, or are you just saying it because you saw it? He says, I love lamp. I love lamp. That whole scene is perhaps one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a comedy, and it sums up writing for me in the best nutshell ever. We do this when we're writing something down. Many artists will tell me that they have writer's block, and I just had a block when I was trying to think of what that was called, actually, because I don't experience writer's block. Like I said, there's a lot of weird things going on in my life, and a lot of things I'm not good at, math, science, you name it. But one thing I don't experience is writer's block. I just don't suffer from a thinking block or a feeling block. That's the point. I might write something down that's complete crap. If any of you guys have been around long enough to know, I've probably written down something pretty crappy. But I'm never at a loss for something to say. And I'm never at a loss to be able to transfer it down onto paper. It's not really a skill. Don't mistake this for a skill. It's just that I've learned to be honest and not care about what anybody thinks about what I say. So now back to this website that I spent too much time on. I had a giggle while reading it because the website started off by saying, "Great philosophy is sometimes to be found in popular song lyrics when you read between the lines." So then I was like, ooh, there's going to be some awesome philosophy take place here. And they went on to give examples of several songs. Now, I don't dispute there is philosophy in everything. Doesn't matter what it is. But the lyrics they provided didn't have me between the lines. I felt like I was between here and Russia or between here and Australia. Like there was so much room. It's just like it was just so vague. The lyrics that they gave. They gave some lyrics, for example, like "Long is the river flowing to the sea, and in my blood a shiver rising in me." Okay, not a bad lyric, but I have no clue what that person was feeling. No clue. So, yeah, it's open to interpretation, much like art is open to interpretation. We've all heard this, but, or how about the one, "The softest cloud, the whitest dove, upon the wings of heaven's love." A lovely little rhyme. And there's a nice picture to go with it. You see this lovely little dove and everything. But I suspect the writer just liked the rhyme, much like Brick liked the lamp. He just saw the lamp and said that. I'm not sure that we got to the heart of what Brick really loved, "Deep in the night the winds blow cold, and in a heartbeat the fear takes hold." Another lovely little rhyme. But I'm still left wondering what was going on. I believe one of the number one reasons writers experience a block is because they aren't writing down what they're feeling. They're just simply not writing down what they're feeling. They're trying to write a poem or a song. They're setting out, I'm going to write a poem or a song. Today I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write a poem. And I'm going to write a song. That's what they do. And that's completely cool, except that so far all I felt was the first person was cold, second person accomplished a cool little rhyme, and the third person is wandering somewhere in the forest scared out of his mind. But that's what I suspect, not because they wrote that down. Now these people didn't come to me complaining about writer's block. Obviously they, got some stuff down. So I'm not going to bother them anymore. I can pick on them. But my hope is to offer some help on how to never have it. First of all, I would ask, do you love to write? Or are you like Brick Tamlin, who's just trying to participate? If you love to write, that should be just about all you need. If you love it above caring what others think, if you're in a really good place that way, if you're honest, then you're all set. Like, you're ready to write. And that's just kind of my, of course, big fat opinion on it. Now, of course, getting to know language is good. Reading books on writing is helpful. I maintain all we really need, though, to get started on writing is the love for it, the honesty, and we really just need to not care what other people think. And that's about it. Comedy always, I find the best writing in comedy. Even though I don't write comedy, I laugh at myself a lot, but I don't write comedy, although I find more lessons in comedy than anywhere. And I laughed at some sketch comedy between Ricky Gervais and Sir Ian McKellen. If you've ever seen Ricky's show, The Extras, it was kind of just a few seasons he did of it after The Office. I believe it was after The Office. Could be before, I'm not sure. But there's a scene where Ricky goes in and he wants to be an actor at the theater, and Sir Ian McKellen is the director of this theatrical play, sits down with him, and he's explaining acting. And he says, "How do I act so well? What I do is I pretend to be the person I'm portraying in the film or play. I imagined what it would be like to be a wizard, and then I pretended and acted on that day. Now, he had a whole bunch of stuff he said in between. If you get a chance to go on YouTube and look for it. Oh, so funny. Very condescending to poor Ricky, but the point is that it was hysterical. Go check it out on YouTube. But all comedy aside, the point is pretty funny. We overthink just about everything that we do, and writing is no exception to this. This has nothing to do with the content. Ian went on to portray a very complex character as Gandalf, in all the Lords of the Ring. And make no mistake, that boy has skill. He has some serious acting skill. He's been at it for a really long time. But then his mentality actually isn't very far off. Just his approach, even though it was for sketch comedy. If we can simplify our motivation that way, and much like that, we can write as much or as little as we want from that point on. If we can make sure the reason for doing it is pure to begin with, then there should be no writer's block. It's kind of like when I set out to do these blogs, I really want to share with you guys. That's my motivations, to share. So I'm not sitting there worried about whether I look very good, or whether it's good or not good, or crap. It's mostly crap. It's mostly blithering. But thank you for you guys who say it's not blithering, but it really is. Come on. If we make sure the reason for doing it is pure, then there shouldn't be that writer's block. If we have the courage to just write down what we're thinking instead of searching the English language for the best rhymes, we can feel pretty good about what we write. It doesn't even have to be non-factual. It could be completely inaccurate, what you're saying. It might be harsh, what you're writing down, but it can, at the very least, represent exactly what we're feeling. That's all I think it has to do. And I love when lessons come from comedy, because life really is pretty funny if we can look at it that way. So I signed off my Are You Able to Get Your Feelings Out blog today. Writing loads of crap, but it's honest crap. One more comedy I was laughing at when Adam Sandler introduces the Lunch Lady song, and he says, "This is a song, this is a new song, it's through the eyes of one of the greatest people alive, I feel, the Lunch Lady." Now, as funny as this song is, and it's a great song with great lyrics, the reason it's funny is because Adam Sandler had an experience with the Lunch Lady at his school and decided to write about it. I don't think, in reading his lyrics, I don't think he was like, what could write me a hit song, or how could I make people laugh? I think he really thought the Lunch Lady was pretty funny, and he sat down and just wrote a song about her, and then he shared it, of course. So I think if the motivation is pure, there shouldn't be writer's block. Unless you have thinking block and feeling block, then you shouldn't have writer's block. So I also encourage people to freestyle write. Don't set out to write a poem, or don't set out to write a song. Just get your pen on paper and get it going. And you know what? You can burn the paper after, you can rip the paper up, you can do whatever you want with it. But even if you're not setting out to write a song or a poem, and the point of writing a song or a poem is to feel good about what we've just felt, or when we get our feelings out, the point is to feel good about what we wrote. And I don't think that has to necessarily be a poem or a song. If you just want to freestyle write something on paper just to get your feelings out, just think about keeping it as honest as possible. Don't try to, look like I saw on one of the forums, there was a guy in there going, "Oh, I have writer's block. Can anybody direct me to some good songs?" If you're just like, "Oh, I'd like to see what some good songs are," and you're just learning some, language skills or whatever, that's cool. But I suspect most people have writer's block because they're a little afraid of getting their feelings out to begin with, and they're a little worried about who will see it. So I think that's what I personally had to get by. My writing has become way more free since I don't care. I don't care what any of you think. Anyway, I do love hearing from you. I just don't care what you think. You know I love you. Anywho, so I hope that you guys are able to get your feelings out, whatever it is. And this goes for communication and everything as well, just to be as honest as possible. I think is a really good place to start. And, some of these people like Ian McKellen and Ricky Gervais and Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell serve up some pretty good lessons. All right, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and until next time, from Whiskey Sour and me, give a rock on, Whiskey. Rock on, guys.